Hello, hello. Yes, welcome back once again. Um, we are still continuing with this topic of electrochemistry. Now, we are going to look at the layout and the foundation of electrolytic cell. Now, electrolytic cell fall under the topic electrolysis, and it is one of the questions which is a must to come in this board. So when you look at the layout of um, of electrolytic cell, this is what we have to know. Um, what should we expect? Okay, this is the layout. You have a trough, a beaker. Um, inside this beaker, what do we have? Um, you have two terminals, which we are going to refer to as electrodes. You have these terminals are immersed in a solution, molten substance, and you these terminals are connected um, to a battery, um, which is placed in that external circuit. Typically, this is the layout of an electrolytic cell. Now, it is important that you know what each of these parts represents. Yes, the circuit looks simple and very direct, but the questions which come out of it normally becomes very challenging to learners. Okay, let us look at them. This is an electrode. The same applies to this one. So we have two electrodes. What you see here as the liquid or solution is electrolyte. And obviously, we know what this one is. This is our battery placed in the external circuit. The entire part of this one is called the external circuit. Okay. Now, what we do, you look at this battery. Okay, let me pause a bit here. My advice to you, from my years of experience in this aspect, is that please watch these videos so that you can have the foundation before questions come. Um, from my experience, I have to tell you that learners who normally excel in this field, they 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 have roots. They have very concrete foundation on which they base their understanding. Learners who normally just come and rush through the question papers, it's true they pass, but um, they pass averagely. So the onus is on you. Do you want average performance? It's fine. You can have it. But if you are somebody who expects to have some good passing, just have the roots. Make sure you understand the concepts before you rush through the question paper. Okay, let us come back here. Now, what we have here is a battery. Now, we know that this side is positive, the long part is the positive one. So this makes this terminal to be positive. And the positive terminal, it has a name. So this electrode is an electrode, yes. But what's the nature of this electrode? The nature of this electrode is anode by virtue of the positive terminal attached to it. And what you have here is a negative. And so this terminal here is negative. And the negative electrode is called what? Cathode. Now, after this, then we go to another level. Whatever's been put across here has to be understood and also defined. So let us look at that one very fast. So let us start with electrolyte. What is it? What is an electrolyte? Um, Electrolyte is a solution. It can be molten substance, okay, um, which conducts electricity through movement of ions. So it's important that you recall that. Okay, let's go to our electrodes. We saw one was the anode. What is it? Is an electrode at which oxidation takes place. Oh, okay. Let us look at another electrode, the cathode. What is it? Is an electrode at which reduction takes place. So those are some of the terms we have seen. More are still coming. Um, Remember what have we looked at? We looked at an electrolyte. We looked at anode, and we looked at cathode. Those are very important as you are going to see them throughout the entire course. Okay, another term is electrolysis. What is it? Um, this one is a process. Um, During which electrical energy is changed to chemical energy. So that is it. Now, after those terminologies, now we have to come to another concept here, mechanism of conduction of electricity in solution and molten substances. Let us look at this is the setup we are having here. We saw this one earlier. In this setup, we have the anode and we have the cathode and the battery. Um, there's one important aspect you have to remember here, that the electrons in the battery flow from the negative side. So they flow from negative side to this terminal, and this side they are entering the negative side. That's the directional flow of electrons. Actually, technically, it's moving from anode to cathode. We used to tell learners that if you find any problem, you have to remember that A comes before C. So the movement of electrons is from A to C, from anode to cathode. Okay, what we are discussing here is the mechanism of conduction. Inside this cell, we have the substance, which can be a solution or molten substance. But whether it's a solution or molten substance, we have to remember that it is a salt, it's a compound. A compound made up of two. An example, let us give an example. Suppose we are using copper chloride, copper 2 chloride. When this one is in a solution, it dissociates into constituent ions. These are the Cu2 plus and the Cl minus ions. So what technically, what we have inside here are copper 2 ions and the chloride ions. Now, the mechanism of conduction is in this way, that the positive ions move to the negative terminal and the negative ions move to the positive terminal. So in this aspect, what are we saying? We are saying that if you have your copper here, which are positive, they'll travel towards the negative side. And if you have the negative ions here, they move to the positive. So in this case, our chloride ions are negative, so they travel to the positive terminal. And our copper ions are positive, they travel to the negative terminal. So when they reach there, they undergo chemical change. And that chemical change which is going to take place is what we denote as electrolysis. So technically, that is the background and the foundation of electrolytic cells. We are going to start from there when we meet again. Thanks.